The Mechanics of Ascension 2012 and Beyond by Danny Searle. Part 3. The Link Between Emotions and DNA. If emotions are part of a realm that we cannot experience with our five senses, then how is it that we are aware of our emotions? What people believe to be emotions is not truly the emotion, but a physical manifestation of these emotions. For example, anger causes disturbance in the psyche, which manifests itself in the ego. These manifestations cause the heart rate to increase, body temperature to rise, and spawn many other physical traits that signify anger. It has been demonstrated that our emotions have a vibratory frequency to them. In the 1960s and 70s, Swiss engineer and medical doctor Hans Jenny performed experiments using sound frequencies on various materials such as water, sand, dust, liquid plastic, and milk. He first published Cymatics, the study of wave phenomena, in 1967. When vibrations of sound are passed through a form of media like sand or water, there is a set pattern that will follow. When the frequency increases, the media develops into a more complex pattern. The first two images are of water. The higher the frequency, the more complex the pattern, as seen in pattern 2. Here is the same phenomena using sand. Again, we see the higher the frequency, the more complex the pattern. This is exactly how emotions work. Emotions create waves of energy through your entire body, causing your DNA to change to a higher or lower pattern frequency. Humans only experience two sets of emotions, love and fear. All other emotions branch directly or indirectly from these two emotions. Fear-based emotions manifest as anger, hate, jealousy, greed, vanity, self-loathing, addictions, manipulation, control, judgment, and many more. Fear has a long and slow vibration frequency. Love-based emotions manifest as compassion, happiness, self-love, kindness, supportiveness, unconditional love, balance, calmness, politeness, non-judgmental, and again many more. Not surprisingly, love has a very rapid and high frequency. In 1985, researcher Peter Garyaev of the Russian Academy of Sciences measured tiny particles of light called photons inside a vacuum tube. As expected, the photons were scattered randomly throughout the tube. A sample of DNA was then placed inside the vacuum tube and the photons were measured again. They found that the particles of light aligned themselves along the axis of the DNA. The DNA sample was removed and the photons remained aligned with the same form as the DNA, even though no DNA was present. This is what is known as the DNA phantom effect. So what does that mean? It demonstrates that DNA affects and interacts with light. But more so, the DNA phantom effect demonstrates that DNA works as an antenna for light, which will be incredibly important later on. But for now, science has bridged a very important gap between the physical and the spiritual. There is a hard digital link between emotions and genetics. This is the first time we have ever seen the patterns of emotion directly and physically linked to the human genome. Emotions have a direct effect on your DNA structure and as such will influence your everyday health and well-being. For example, if you are an angry, negative and closed-minded person, then you have a low vibration. Low vibrations typically lead to bad health and in chronic cases it can even cause cancer. Conversely, if you are a happy, positive and loving person, you have what is called a high vibration, which causes your DNA to resonate at a higher frequency. Higher frequency DNA manifests in the physical as a healthy mind and a healthy body. Coming up in part 4, we will examine the Hopi Indian Blue Star Prophecy, along with the groundbreaking work of Dr. Paul Laviolette and his book Earth Under Fire. This is really exciting stuff.